Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 5th or 6th episode of Film Insiders. So today we have with us the media project manager of ISAK, the Culture Center for Youth here in Trondheim. Magnus, welcome to our little podcast. By the way, just to let everyone know, Magnus was behind the cameras and was the one helping out with everything, setting up the dates and setting up the microphones, the levels and everything.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So everything that sucks is my fault?
Yes, actually, yes. Today's going to be a little bit of a different type of podcast because we're also going to discuss about the place here. Just to, I guess, see what ISAK is all about. But we're also going to discuss about your relationship with the industry. Yes, if you can actually I'm asking the same question over and over again. So, if you can clue us into what you were doing in your film career, we can start from there.
Maybe should I start at the beginning or just in general?
You can start in how it started and how it progressed.
Yeah, it pretty much started right before I started what you would call high school, I guess, videregående skole, which is I had gotten a camera, a photo camera, and took small videos and photos of mostly skiing and skating, stuff like that. I wanted to be a photographer.
Really? What age was that?
15, 16.
Okay.
And so I started the media school and learned the basics, regular media education for youth in Norway. But we had a really good teacher in Multicam productions. He had worked at NRK, and which is the state channel. So we did productions on UKM, which is a cultural festival for youth. It was really fun. We got to travel and do productions.
Cool.
We started our own small business, me and a couple of other students.
Okay.
So we did concerts, and we got a gig doing the municipality meetings.
Okay.
Which is one of the most boring jobs you could ever imagine as a 17-year-old. It's 5 or 6 hours of meetings and just doing multi-camera and that. And I also did, I was a producer on TV Bingo.
TV Bingo?
Yes.
You're not bloody kidding.
So it's helping screening calls for people who called in and got bingo.
I didn't know that you had bingo here in Norway as well, because I thought that gambling is kind of prohibited in Norway.
No, it is kind of legal.
Okay.
But, it was a pretty fun job because it was me, my friend, one of the ones you've met, Michael. He was the sound guy. We had another friend, Sunniva, which also works in the industry now, as she was the presenter. And we were a small team of 17-year-olds doing TV alone in the evenings.
Okay.
Got death threats live on TV and stuff. It's pretty fun. But I did media in school, and then I think it was the summer I graduated. I got a job as a PA on a real movie.
Okay.
Shot in my hometown of Alta. Kill Buljo 2.
You actually worked in this.
Okay, yeah. And then I got to experience how a movie got made for real. And it was a really cool, fun experience. And decided to, or I pretty much already had decided to study film, so I've applied to the university in Trondheim.
Okay. What in which study?
I applied for media production or film production, but I got into like film theory, which is not what I expected at all. It was very dry, like the study of film. But at the same time, I worked as a volunteer in something called Student TV, which was like the best. It was making small, like news things for students, sketches, and we did multicamera on all the shows at what's called Samfunnet here in Trondheim, which is a pretty big stage. And also multicamera on Uka, which is a huge festival.
Okay. So as far as I understand, you were mainly like in the camera department, right?
I did more like in the multi-camera department.
Multi-camera
so we
department,
did
yes.
both like the camera and the production of live production of shows.
Cool. And right after that, like, was it something else? Like, because this is still in the university. Right after the university,
It was during university.
the university.
Yeah, so I did 4 years at the university and worked in student TV.
Okay.
More than I did school, and it's like 70 or 80 people in student TV. So got to know lots of people and lots of people who moved to Oslo or stayed here and started working in the industry. So that was one of the ways to like get connections.
Okay. Right. Like I guess my question here is like when you said that it was like a really dry like type of education. Do you regret going there? Like, did it outweigh the advantages it had, like the actual studies, or like
the studies itself is for me not useless because I really respect doing like the higher education. It makes you think. It's probably a lot I learned that I use today, but I wouldn't recommend it for anyone wanting to become a filmmaker. It's more if you're academically interested in film. So I use it like a way to get money to work as a volunteer in student TV, mostly.
It would be interesting to hear also, like, regardless of the academic parts, like, did you get any experience out of it, like practical experience, rather like, but from the university?
Not from the university. It's only theoretical studies in that field. It's purely theoretical.
Okay.
But then again, I worked between 20 to maybe 30 hours a week as a volunteer in student TV. So it gave me, and I freelanced a little on the side as well. So it gave me the opportunity to work. Yeah. But after doing university, I moved to Oslo with my girlfriend. Got a tiny apartment and just tried the freelance life, and it was rough as fuck in the start with like no money, no nothing, and no like real connections in Oslo. Like some people I worked with in student TV, but they are mostly starting out as well.
Yeah.
So I got some odd jobs as like a PA or like a extra and stuff like that. And I went pretty okay for like half a year. Did one show that was pretty cool, which was like a TV show about physics.
Okay.
Where we, pretty known guy in Norway, Andreas Wahl, like tested physics with his life.
Okay.
So he did like, he jumped bungee jump with telephone catalogs as his safety. It's like to test friction if you alternate pages in a phone book.
I don't believe that shit.
We did it. He jumped off a fucking bridge with this, and we did like it's like a classical thing where you take like a ball on a string and hold it up to your face and let it go.
Yeah.
It comes back and stops right before you. We did that with like a huge wrecking ball.
Okay, so like it was like one of the fun productions, as far as I understand.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. But when that ended, like right before Christmas, the first year, I had nothing. So then I had to do started working in a kindergarten.
Okay.
And that just became my main job for almost 2 years. I got
bloody hell.
Yeah, it swallows you up because suddenly you get money.
Yes.
But you have to work there all the time.
Yeah, I know.
But that was fine as well. It's pretty okay stuff. But then I started missing doing film again and started getting like odd jobs here and there from friends and people I've met before. And I got this, I talked to you about it this other day. I got this one commercial job for 2 days. It was making a sausage commercial in slow-mo in the studio, which ended up taking way longer than anticipated. So we got like serious overtime pay, and I made like a month's pay in the kindergarten in 2 days, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Okay, it was like the turning point. You were like, okay, there is
okay.
no bloody way I'm keep doing the kindergarten.
If I can do this 2 days a month and make the same as 100% position in. So then I quit the job and started freelancing for real, and just did lots and lots of commercials for, I think, maybe 2 years.
Okay. Were you alone in this path, or you had other friends that you were like finding? Like
I had one of my best friends worked in like a pretty small commercial company, which mainly did like radio commercials, but they had recently started like a TV commercial production thing.
Are you talking about Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
Okay. Because he's gonna be on the podcast as well.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Fun guy.
Yes.
So we did lots of sketch comedy commercials with like a small team, which was really fun. And like from there, it kind of built, knowing people, and it like slowly built up to be a pretty like a decent living. And mostly like PA, but PA plus because you ended up doing like being both a camera assistant, lighting assistant, doing art department stuff, and so since we were such small teams, I had to do many things.
Yes, I get it. Like because like the smaller projects, like they don't have like
you don't have someone working with props, so so now suddenly you PA, are the prop guy, and since working with friends and like good people, you could experiment and try stuff.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I guess it's because you were working with friends as well that you had like the luxury of being a little bit more fluid.
Yeah, but they didn't. The only friend I like knew was Michael.
Yeah,
but his colleagues started to notice and use me in other stuff maybe he wasn't a part of. And
I see. But what do you think it was the difference between when you first moved like to Oslo, and then right after, like after the 2 years in the kindergarten, because like in the first 2 years, like you're doing 2 years of kindergarten, there is nothing, and then all of a sudden you have like a lot of jobs. Was it just because of like the industry just going faster and more jobs going out, or you did something that it propelled like the jobs to get to you?
I think it was a little bit like you're a little older, and you're not really that scared, because like I said, the one job that changes your perception, that okay, if I only do 1 or 2 jobs this month, I can still get by.
Yes.
I don't have to like be scared. It's gonna be fine.
Yes.
But also, that's one thing I don't really with having worked 2 years in the kindergarten, I could, if everything went to shit, I could get like money from what's it called, unemployment.
Yes, I see.
And the first time I could not, because when you come straight from school, you don't get anything if you're unemployed.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was also, like I said, I didn't use it, but it was a safety net.
Okay, I see. So it was also a safety net that made you feel, okay, I'm not going to end up in the streets or back to Alta with my parents, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So next question is, like, what were like the main struggles in the beginning when starting out, and the mistakes you made that you're like, okay, I think I should have done that instead, like, or it would be nice someone told me, okay, try to avoid this specific thing, so you can save up money or time or effort.
Yeah, like the thing, like I told you, I did mostly commercials for 2 years, maybe more. Was that I said no to a lot of projects that were like films or TV series, because I thought I paid too little. But I realized after starting doing that later that that's where you like make the real connections and real, I wouldn't say friends, but like professional friends that give you more jobs. I could get by on commercials, but you don't really develop. I stayed a PA for, I got really good at it, but you don't get hired to do something higher in commercials.
I see.
Mostly you can, but like since it's such short jobs, they just want you to do the same thing you do already, which is, if you're good at it, you keep doing that, because
I see.
with that.
They're happy with what they know that it works, and they're not feeling like just
why take a chance when you already know what you're getting, and we're only working for maybe 3 days, so
yes, I see. Okay, maybe this is also the curse of being a PA in the beginning.
Yeah, don't be afraid to try stuff. Like at least like an assistant, if somebody offers you the role as assistant to lighting, assistant to art department, or anything, and you're like, I don't know how, just do it. It's if you're a sound of mind, you can probably learn, and it's so much, it gives you so much insight into the different departments, and it's pretty and you gonna learn something new and get a different perspective on what it entails to be a gaffer, or what does the art department really do. Like,
I see. So be open as well, like to kind of like
I didn't know
see the other departments as well, like if the opportunity comes. Like, don't just reject it because it's not your go-to thing.
Yeah, I thought that like I was gonna be first AD. That was my thing. But as time went on, I was like, do I want to? Is this? I still think it's fun to do stuff like that, but I'm not sure if I ever like decided on anything. So that's why I did so many different stuff.
What about some other positions you had like in the film industry? If you can clue us into what other things you got to do, like because you told me, for example, that you were like a scout into scout location at some point. If you can clue us into these realities as well.
Yeah, like mainly 2 jobs I did that were like a little bigger or more of a different vibe than PAing and ADing. And that was like being the location manager for a feature film. And that was scouting and managing. And I had never done location before, but I was assured that it's fine. You're gonna do it in your hometown. So I went to Alta, where I grew up, and was gonna just find the last few locations for the film. Everything was ready, I was told. That was not the case.
Yes.
But it was maybe that's the biggest project where I had the most responsibility, was being a location manager for La Elva Leve, or Let the River Flow. I was lucky enough to have a partner, which was a really experienced guy called Steve, which has worked for True North, which does lots of like Hollywood things in Norway. But like, and that's where I really got to experience, got to appreciate the experience of having worked in lots of different fields, because you know the need of every department. And if you're gonna plan a set on a location, you know that the lighting needs so and so power. You know that so many people need so and so many toilets, so and so many, so much space for catering and eating, and power for the costume department and art department. And like, this was like, we were gonna shoot on top of mountains where we had no electricity, so we had to like get the power company to put in power on the top of a mountain for us.
Oh my God.
And it was a period film as well, so we had to make stuff look like the 1970s. So we had like roads which were asphalt, and they wanted it to be gravel. So
You had
just
to
figuring
buy,
out
like,
how to get enough gravel to cover 100 meters of road. And yeah, it was a daunting project, but it was really fun to make it work. And it was pretty successful as well.
Okay.
Won some awards, not me personally.
Okay. But as far as I understand, you were the scout locator / you were helping with other things. Again, with like, were you helping other than the scout location?
No, I was the location manager, so I did some scouting myself, but I hired scouts for me.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Like in the beginning, I was alone, but like as time moves closer to the beginning of shoot and during shooting, we still hadn't locked down every location, so I had to have people scout for me while I manage the set.
I see. So this is why you said that you were responsible, for example, like thinking about how we're gonna get the gravel, etc., etc. That was like your thing.
Yeah,
you need to think how we're gonna make it look like a period location.
together with the art department, you work, like, I find, for instance, like apartments that are close to looking like they are still from the 70s, and but not so, because they have to be new in the 70s, so they can't be totally wrecked,
Yes,
but still not too new. So it's like, and in a small town like Alta, where lives maybe 25,000 people, it's hard to find these like perfect locations. But then together with art department, making these houses look, they make them look good, but I have to find them, and then also make it possible for a full film crew to work in that environment.
Okay, so you also need to think about space, etc., etc.
Space for cars, space for equipment, space, and like things like electricity and permits. If we were going to close down roads, we had to close down one of the main highways between two cities, where the ambulances and stuff goes to the hospitals. So you have to like apply for transport.
Yeah, like you need to get the permit from the responsible for the
and the police and everything. So everything is okay when you start shooting.
And this is your responsibility to make those calls, to call the police and be like, okay,
and also
there's production.
Contracts for houses. Like we used maybe 8 or 7 houses, making deals with people to use their house, and where are they gonna stay when we are there? Like get them into hotels and negotiating how much we're gonna pay for houses.
So this is as a location manager, this is your responsibility. It's not like the producer's responsibility.
I get like a range for what we can pay.
Yes.
And you have to negotiate within that. And of course, if you get it cheaper, it's better for us. But you also want people to feel glad that not cheated.
Yeah.
So you have to be fair and also be you are the person that have the responsibility for everything that comes, like the house. You are the one who are renting it on behalf of the production company, so you're the contact with whoever rents you.
I see. And I'm also guessing when it comes like to power, for example, then you need to get in touch like with the electricians and the gaffers and ask like, okay,
what do we need?
Yeah. Like how much power do you need? And then you need to go to your electrician and you're like, okay, they asked me we need this. So like
and like we don't just need the locations on shooting days. We need maybe a week of prep, like for remodeling the house with art department or installing lights. We had to change the bulbs on every street light in a small town because they were new LEDs and we needed them to be like the old yellowy.
The tungsten type.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then to get the permit to do this, or to get the like utility companies to do this for us. So it's,
I see.
and period films are a lot.
Yes, but it sounds fun. Also, I would like to ask you here, how do you find, like, for example, the houses? Like, what is the process behind that?
Like in Alta, I used my network there. But I also just drive around. I spent weeks just driving around, looking, and like you get some pictures and stuff to like reference material. To, this is what we want, and then you just drive around, knock on doors and see, can I see your house? Would you be interested to
participate in our project? Yes.
And it's not just houses, it's also like nature, like this, since this is like not a biopic, but it is an actual thing that happened. So we were on the places that these things actually happened. We had to find out how to get permits to be there, and how to like make sure that we are allowed to be there when we need to be there, when it's like it's the roadway up to a dam, so it's heavily trafficked in certain times, and need to work around with lots of people to make stuff flow as good as possible.
It's almost like a director, but in a different position, like to some extent.
It's logistics.
Yes.
But you need to know how the film set works. You can find a location that looks like, oh, this is gonna look awesome. But if you can't park 10 cars there, how the fuck are you gonna
make
use
film?
It?
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to know what the needs of the entire production is for choosing the different sites to.
I see.
And then you will have to make the director want the place.
Yes. Yes. So I would like to ask you regarding like being fluid, like with your role, like in the film industry, like because like as you said, like most people they're like, you know, fixated on doing like one specific thing, right? Like I want to be, I don't know, either a director or a producer or a, like especially in the beginning, I guess people have like, because they know only a few positions, they're like, okay, I'm gonna be one of those positions that I know that they exist. But all of a sudden you end up like in bigger productions and you see that it's like a huge like amount of people that they do different stuff. And my question here is, what is your experience with that? Like, do you feel like that like there are other fun jobs within the film industry that you're like, okay, for example, like a second AD or a first AD or a second AC or a first AC or the best boy in the lighting departments? Like, if you think that, or if you feel like that those departments as well, that a lot of people, they don't even know that they exist. Or for example, I don't know, like a script supervisor or whatever. Like if you think that there are opportunities and also, I guess, interest in them.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you have to try, but you have to find out what are you good at.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it was like I'm pretty good at organizing stuff live, like keeping control of chaos when it happens, and not only other people but myself, and keeping calm when things are pretty hectic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very good at planning in the long term, so like the second AD role is like, I don't even consider it as something for me, but only after seeing how it's done.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes,
like worked as a third AD and then seeing what the second AD does with like the call sheets and planning and I did a job as a coordinator for a huge commercial. With we were probably like 150 people on set.
Oh shit, for a commercial, that's crazy.
And it was so much like sitting in Excel and trying to figure out the timetables for just transport. I was the transport coordinator.
Okay.
And I did not enjoy it, but I did try it, and just like, not for me. If you try different stuff, you're gonna figure out if it's fun or not. But you have to also give it more than one shot.
Yes.
Contrary to what I just said about being
Yes, but I guess it's also because the first time you get to have much more stimuli out of it,
Yeah.
Especially if you're a little bit neurotic as well, like you're gonna be much more disconnected and really like on the edge, like because you're gonna have like too much anxiety, I guess, at least at the first time you're doing something.
Yeah.
And I guess it has to some capacity. It's good to be on the edge, like for the first time.
Yeah.
Because if you're not like alarmed, like the first time, you're like, okay, whatever. Then you're gonna be like, you're not gonna be at this maximal proximal development phase that you have to go through, I guess.
Yeah, you get comfortable. And,
yes.
As a PA, I had jobs that sucked total balls. But I've had other jobs that were really fun as a PA, where you get to do lots of fun stuff, lots of fun colleagues, and you see that your job matters. But also, like, I've done jobs that were also fun, but you see that your job is maybe not the most important job, but it still matters. Like, I've been sitting around, like, guarding equipment while like a second unit is out shooting.
Yes.
But just knowing that somebody has to do it, because like you can't just leave equipment for $500,000 just lying in the roadside.
Yes.
It's cheaper to pay someone a day's wage to just sit there, even though it doesn't feel like that matters right now. It does matter in the long term because people can rely on you.
I see. What other jobs are PAs doing? Like, because I'm also, I think I'm gonna go through the phase of being a PA, at least in the beginning. Like, I would like to ask for myself as well. What is it that you do in as a PA? Like, I guess there is a big range to that because a PA is like kind of like the runner to some extent. But
I think in Norway it's pretty wide what you do. It depends on the production, but like it could be, you usually have responsibility for catering and for like general helping out everyone. You probably will get some like extras responsibility, like keeping track of them, getting messages here and there, helping out with lighting, helping out with camera, carrying a lot of stuff.
Yes. Okay, I see.
But and just driving equipment everywhere.
Okay. So I guess also driving license here, it's like a must.
Yeah, I've known people who don't have a driver's license, and I never really understood how they manage, because I feel like they're cheating. Like,
yes.
But then again, like that's one of my favorite breaks in the film industry. Is like you're on set somewhere far away from everything. And it's like you've been working hard for maybe like a week, and it's like, we need a lens. It's in Oslo. And it's like, I'll do it. And then you get 8 hours of driving, listening to podcasts, and just...
Yes, I see. Okay.
Getting like a break from everything. And,
yes, I see, because it's like whatever job is like, just drive there and get us like this.
It's mindless.
Yes.
And that's... It's not fun, of course, but it's like, since you are expendable, you can be sent on different like missions.
I see.
And it's can be fun to figure out. Like, maybe also the thing I would recommend people is to, like I said earlier, to try stuff and be creative when solving problems. It's like I told you about this earlier, but how are you gonna get ice cream on an island 6 hours out of Oslo, and you have to find like ways to solve problems that the producers give you. And know when to ask questions and when to just figure it out
on your own and not being a burden.
Yeah, it's like that's maybe the biggest difference between success, I think, is like the ones who can't function without supervision.
Yes,
are the ones who don't get callbacks.
I see.
Like ask the right questions.
I see. Like not giving like the energy, feeling, and reality like to the one who hired you. That okay, this is a kid, and like to every possible turn, like he's asking how to exactly do something, like step by step, like almost like it's a YouTube tutorial. Like it's better like to try to figure it out on your own. And if you have like a question that it's like, for example, like if they allow you to do something that maybe it's a little bit dangerous. I don't know, like
you shouldn't do dangerous stuff, of course.
But, of course, but like if you find like maybe I'm just saying like a fix for something that it's a tiny bit on the edge, I guess this is where you ask, okay, should I do that or I shouldn't find another way?
If you think maybe this will catch fire or something, you should maybe ask.
Yes.
But other than that, like, just try.
Any other, I guess, things for people starting out that you think that it's good to do, like to get the attention of like their employers?
I think the general have a good mood, joke around, but do the things that you're asked to do. And it seems like banal, but I've been in situations where I've seen people like just not doing the job.
Yeah, because of the fun mood they're into, right?
Not necessarily the fun mood, but just thinking that it's not important or like it's hard to explain. But you're hired to do something, so you have to do it. And
yeah, I know exactly. I think what you're saying is having like this mentality of like not caring enough.
Yeah,
and just being there. Just I actually mainly I have this experience at least from this food truck that I was working with. That for me, with whatever job I do, like I take it almost religiously. Like especially when they pay good.
Yeah.
Like even if they didn't pay good, I would do it. But I guess there is some limit to that.
Yeah.
But like I always had this feeling that a lot of people, even in a fucking food truck, they were like, okay, whatever. Which I get it because it's a whatever job. But like when it comes to whatever job, when someone is giving you like food, it's like, okay, like I don't get how people get into this mode that okay, it's whatever. Like for me, it doesn't come instinctually, you know. Like it's not within my instinct. It's I don't start from okay, I don't care, and then I need to push, like to pay attention. I start with this high alert state, and then I need to think, okay, maybe that's not that important, so I can chill a little bit as well. Yeah. Like I guess I'm the opposite to some extent.
Yeah,
on this.
But I think you really like hit the nail on the head, as I say, because if you think like I'm gonna be a camera guy, so it doesn't really matter what I do as a PA.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Like do your best. Like try and like a crafts table. Make it look fucking good. Make it look like people want to eat. Yeah. Keep stuff clean. Help at like every opportunity you have, because people notice, and that's how you like advance, is people noticing you and like, oh, he can help me with other stuff which are more in line with their like goals or
yeah, and I guess also it's a completely different feeling from the university. In my university, it wasn't that dry. It was mainly doing like short films, etc., etc. So we got to work in a lot of productions. But in my experience, at least within the university, it's a lot of whateverness. You know, it's like okay, like I can put like the system in whatever position, and I can like use whatever grip the way I feel like in the moment, which I guess is all right. But when it comes to bigger and more expensive equipment, like that's not a good idea, even if it's like a smaller production. Because I remember in her absence, in my first or second short film, we used like a huge ass crane, with a motorized head, and my crew for responsible for like the crane. What they did is we needed to get the crane like to the, like I think it was around 400, 500 meters away, and we were a lot of people, around 30, 40 people. Like most of the people, I gather like a lot of people for that. So, and I asked them, like, do you think it's a better idea maybe we get it down, the whole crane, and then we assemble it back? And they were like, no, it's gonna be fine. I was like, okay, you're sure? And they were like, yes, whatever. Okay, this whatever ended up breaking like a 500,000 crane with a motorized head. And then, I'm the guy who signed that I'm responsible for the equipment.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, like who, like now who is to blame, Like,
I guess it's you.
Yeah, it's me. And then all of a sudden after this incident, I was like, okay, like I'm not getting any bloody shortcuts. And I don't hear like this excuse where the students were just learning, especially when it's expensive equipment, like, and especially when it's not your equipment, right?
And that's mostly the case in like pretty much all camera or lighting equipment is rented, so take care of it.
Yeah, and at least ask what is the correct way of doing shit. Like now that I was in Oslo, like when I went to Daxlis, the first thing that the guy there told me was like, okay, when you hold the lens, this is the way you hold it. When you put it back, when you put the lenses back to transport, you have the iris open, and then you have like the focus to infinity, so the blades don't like go all around. And I'm like, okay, that's an interesting small thing to know, which maybe sounds insignificant, but when you're dealing with like 500,000 kroner like equipment, it's like, okay, you better listen, and not be okay, like, I'm chill or whatever.
Yeah, I highly agree. Like, listen to the people who are like in the upper positions, because they have so much to learn to you. Like,
to teach you, yes.
Yeah, like just small things like C-stands, how to place them when you're clearing up. I still do this, like putting every screw on this like a linear path down, and then the height foot there, and like so they can stack in the truck.
Yes.
And when you bring them out, they're all the same, and like because somebody told me this is the way.
Yeah,
we do it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I guess in the beginning, it's a good idea just to ask stupid questions.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 times. How many times it needs to get burned into your head? Like, so you learn it correctly, because I think it's a really bad method not asking things. And then all of a sudden, like, there is like a problem coming up, and then you're looking like a clueless like kid, being like, oh shit, what happened? So I would just like to ask you, like, how do you deal with people that they're in power and they're nonsensical, and at the same time they lash out to people? What is like the way to treat like situations like that? And if you have any personal stories?
Yes. Just to go at first, I would, if something like this happens, I would really like think about what's happening. Like you're saying, are they nonsensical? Like,
yes,
are they really? I would ask myself first: am I getting shouted at because I did something wrong, or is it something else here? Because if I've been shouted at quite a lot,
yes,
for doing stupid shit, but then you have to like go into yourself and like, okay, let's change that.
Yes, especially when there is like a point.
Yeah, like a real point to don't do that or do that differently.
Mm-hmm.
And how it is said doesn't really matter for me. Like if someone is mad and yells at me, I can accept that because usually that's it. It's over. Don't really. People communicate in different ways, and if someone shouts at you, it's fine in an hour most of the time. But if it's like you say nonsensical and like personal attacks that doesn't really make sense to you, I would probably ask someone, at least if someone else was there, I would ask them like, is this do we have the same experience? I could do the story that I told you before, but we did a commercial for someone, and this was the second thing we did for them. On the first of these commercials, I was the first AD and like producer of some sort, so I had a lot of like responsibility for the client and talked a lot to the main client, and it was like really successful. People liked it. And then we did a second commercial, which I changed role, and because it was like a hidden camera thing, and I was the sound guy, so I was just listening to hidden microphones around in a store, and everything seemed fine, and the commercial ends, and then my friend calls me up, which was the director for this, and he's like, "Were you a dick to the client?" And I was like, "What?" Yeah, she's told us you were really arrogant and really like obnoxious to her. And I was like, "What? What's going on?" I didn't have any memory of even talking to her on set.
Yeah.
And this broke the whole work thing I had with this production company. It like me and some other people were shunned from working with them, and it was like it was a big thing because it was a pretty big client for the production company. But I came home after getting this message and was like really shook. But I call like my friend, and I called another friend who was the camera guy on the thing, and asked him, well, like, what's going on? Does this description sound like me? And they're mostly like, no, but also joking and saying yes.
yes, of course.
But they tell me to just relax. This is probably something else. And it turns out that it was like a personal dispute between someone higher up in the organization, and I was kind of used as the
scapegoat.
Yeah, scapegoat and someone to blame for. But it was really like jarring, but you get over it. But you have to like learn from it as well, that maybe you can be like a pawn in someone's game, just move on.
Yes, I get exactly what you're saying. By the way, here I think it's really important to say what you started with, just to mention it, double mention it, that it's always a good idea to double check like with other people and to see what you did, and if there was something wrong from your like let's say perspective, like if maybe your work ethic somewhere like got a little bit out of hand, or like just to see how you can improve and how you can calibrate both your character and your skills, I'm guessing. And of course, like always be open, like to talk with people, like if for example someone like is a little bit more hot tempered, like especially in Greece people are really hot tempered, like they're gonna shout, etc., like I guess like if it like goes like to a point in your head that you can actually not focus because you're like focusing on someone shouting, it's a good idea to go to someone and be like, okay, I guess like like I don't have a clear mind when you shout to that much with like such a small thing, you know. Like and I guess it's good to be at least honest, like with your limits, etc., etc.
But like this is more of a from another perspective, is that you don't always know what's going on between people when
Yes.
like I had this I was a PA in another like a TV show, and me and the director had a pretty good like connection. We joked around and we had this like recurring joke where when something went wrong, he would always like blame me in like, oh, Magnus, this was your only job to keep this from happening. Like, oh, and he kept doing this, and the host of the show,
okay,
were like, takes us both in, and it's like, to the director, you can't treat him like this. I don't think it's fine to you to talk to Magnus like this. And I started laughing. It's like, it's no big deal. I know it's a joke. We know, but that's also, like you said, you don't know how people are necessarily. And if someone shouts at you, maybe that, and if you take that to heart, and they don't, like they shout at you because they're stressed about something else, and they forget it like that and don't even think about it, and you harboring all these he's such a dick feelings. It's no point to do that if
yeah, I get it. I guess it helps also if, like, out of the box you are also a little bit more how would you call it, if you get stressed less easily. But I guess this depends from people to people. Some people are really neurotic, like including myself. If someone like shouts at me, it's gonna get into my head, and then I need to practice to get some distance. But then there are some people that there is exact opposite. Someone shouts at them and they're like, okay, like, whatever, you know. Like, so I guess it also depends how you are as a person. But just to close this, for me, how I treated at least the thing that happened, like it was like kind of like a little bit bad for me, because it was like the first time I went like to a production, that I went like to this like reality show, and all of a sudden I figure out that it's like a really like low quality Big Brother show, which like I freaked out, like in the whole like environment. Like it was almost like soft porn, I would call it. And you know, the thing that I got out of this is that I needed to double check like much better than what I did, like to see what is the premise of what I'm going to work with, you know, if I can ethically be there and help like such a production, you know, like, because like I guess like at least from my perspective, it's good to know what you're getting into. Like, and I didn't, because I was like desperate to be into something, and then all of a sudden I find myself into a production that is straight up something that I cannot like tolerate. And also I cannot, it's not only the ethics behind it, it's also that I want to work like within a film industry that the money are oriented towards fiction, and all of a sudden I'm like helping like I'm helping what? Like I'm helping to get to create like
something you don't really maybe respect.
Yeah, and I don't appreciate like to the core. I would prefer if that didn't exist, you know.
But that's like very depends on the person, I guess. But like for me, I don't care what I make.
Yeah, of course,
at all. Like I've done gambling commercials and stuff that I don't use or condone or anything, but is for me, it's like it's gonna be made either way. So
I see.
But then again, I'm not in the creative part of it.
Yeah.
So
I see what you're saying. When you're like to the technicians kind of like perspective, it's like whatever it is that I'm fixing, like it doesn't quite matter. And I guess here, like it's really important that people get to know themselves like through this process, because for me, I was also unaware that if I get into a production like that, I'm gonna react like this.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't like this philosopher, like higher mindset that I'm like, okay, I'm against like Big Brother sets, like okay, like whatever. Like I never thought about it, and then I get into the production, and then I freaked out, and then I got to learn, okay, Orpheus, don't get into such a production again. But good Lord, I didn't get paid, so there is no grounds for this production company to actually tell me that I was like in the wrong, like that I left, like. So yes, for me that's like a thing that I'm gonna have to say from now on to people, like especially like I guess in 20 years from now I'm gonna have to say to people, okay, be careful what you're getting yourself into, that you're sure that at least you want to work in there, like to some capacity. That was like a big mistake I did, because I put myself in a really bad position where people now can say whatever they want, because it's funny because I've been called lazy about this instance. And it's funny because for me, I thought about it really deeply in the production, if I should go away or not, because that could be potentially my way into the into the industry. And then while I was thinking about that, it's like, okay, it's either I leave now and I might create a problem for myself, or I go with my instinct, I leave, and then I go work as a food truck, like wrapping guy, euros, like in Trondheim. I was like, okay, what do you prefer? And I was like, okay, I choose to go back to work as a like whatever guy doing whatever job, because it crosses a lot of lines in me.
Yeah.
And I guess you also need to be true to yourself. Like, how do you feel about things? Like, I guess always there is like some limits, like to things. Like you cannot just always go out and about preaching like about your beliefs, like, because it's not always the moment, like this is not what I'm saying at all. Like I'm aware like of the social cues. Okay, like maybe there is space here to talk about that, or maybe there is no space. And I did the same when I left this production. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna explain to them exactly, I'm just gonna say why I'm leaving, but really briefly, because they're working. Okay, last topic before we close. I would like to ask you about ISAK. ISAK. By the way, how do you pronounce that? ISAK or ISAK?
ISAK.
ISAK, okay. So about the Culture Center that you're working now as the chief of the media department. If you can clue us into what is the media department, like exactly, what are you doing here?
It's a very open place where you can learn film and photo and like media stuff on your own terms. We have courses and workshops and stuff like that, but mostly it's for you to learn on your own or with like a group. You can borrow equipment and make your own stuff with pretty decent equipment, I would say. Like I'm trying to make our equipment as professional as it can be on the budget we have. So that if you decide to work further in the industry, you would have equipment that's close to what you're going to use in the...
It's actually be used out there, yes.
Yeah. So and it's from ages 16 to 25. You can use it for free every weekday from 9 till 9, pretty much.
Okay, nice. And how do people book? Like, how does it work exactly?
We have 2 rooms mostly, like a photo film studio, pretty small, but with white walls and lighting. And we have a office with Max, where we have both like Adobe and DaVinci.
And Photoshop, etc.
And Photoshop,
Yes.
everything. And cameras and lots of different equipment. And if you want to use it, you can just show up and talk to me if I'm here, though. Or you can book the studio after you take like a small introductory course.
Which you give, by the way.
I give.
Yes.
It's half an hour just to like know the real basics of how to turn on the lights and operate the stands and different stuff. And if you want more, you can ask me and we can do like a more personal, how to use the cameras, how to use different stuff, how to set up lighting in the basic sense. And then you're pretty much free to explore on your own, either alone or as a group. And
I guess here it's important to say that there also, when I came, it wasn't much, but now it starts getting better with the workshops.
Yeah.
Like that, there are like workshops going around. You did like a workshop for like creating like a short film, right?
Yeah, we had a short film workshop that lasted 4 days with the aim of making like a 1-minute film, which is like you have 1 day for planning, 2 days for shooting, and 1 day for editing. And we've previously done similar things, but with a longer, that we just make the production in 4 or 5 days, and then you edit afterwards on your own time. So yeah, we do maybe 2-3 of those a year. And then we have other courses spread out, like really, I don't know when this is going to air, but like winter break this year, we're gonna do like a really interesting photo workshop with a war photographer named
with
Andre
Leon,
Leon, which is I'm really looking forward to seeing him in action. He has a really interesting perspectives on how to work with people and cameras, and is not like a traditional like how you set up a camera, what is shutter speed, what is ISO. It's more about like thinking, how do I think before going out and taking pictures? How do I meet people? How do I talk to them? What is the meaning of taking pictures?
What is the why? Yes. Yes. I know Andre is like a really interesting person. I got probably gonna get him on board with the podcast as well. I'm not sure when we're gonna fit him in, but he was interested in joining. But like for me, the main reason like getting him like on the podcast, and also because I'm gonna join as well, like the thing that he's gonna host. I think I found really interesting that he's mainly into the why, the reason.
Yeah.
Even if I guess like there are gonna be points that I disagree with him, like, and everyone's gonna disagree with everyone, like to some points, like unless you're mindless, I guess. But the thing is that it starts from a nice perspective. Why, like the reason why we're doing what we're doing.
Why take pictures?
Yes. Yeah. So.
But so that's like examples of things we do. But one of the other like important things is that it can be pretty much everything you want. If you have a good idea for something you want to happen here, come and ask, and we might be able to do it. Like you. My recollection of how you ended up here was like you wanted to be in the like a script course, but it was in Norwegian.
Yes, exactly.
And then we just started talking, and we end up you doing 2 workshops here.
Yeah, or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
How many? It was a lot. Yes.
Yeah. And so if you have something you want to do, just come and talk to us and maybe we can do it. Right now I'm planning a short film with someone who has never done a short film before, but he has an idea. So like I help him as much as I can, but encourage people to explore on their own. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but you can get a lot of help here, but ultimately you have to do it yourself.
Absolutely. And I think it's a shame if the equipment here it's not used, because just to clue people in, like the studio have like 300 COB lights, like I think how many, 2 or 3 of them? Three of them, with like parabolic diffusion domes, etc. Then there is like 60-watt like COB lights, like with projection lights and gobos that you can create like whatever effect you want. Now recently that we got to Snore, me and you, like that we got to see some new equipment for the studio as well. There's like also a butterfly frame with silk on top of it. Like, so there is equipment that it can be used. Also the FS7s that we're now shooting on, they're amazing, like workhorses. Like maybe not the best ones, but it's far away from being bad. And then we have like the Black Magics with a few lenses. So in my opinion, that's enough equipment to make even a professional like feature film. I would argue, like it's enough. Maybe it's not the most powerful like sources, but it's good enough if you know how to use them. So for me as a DOP, my perspective is that the equipment is enough for any intermediate person. Not even for beginners. This is like
it's too much.
It's too much. But for intermediate person, like it's nice.
Yeah.
So, and even for professionals, I would argue that it's really good as well. So yes, and also like because I'm planning, even if now I'm moving to Oslo, like I'm planning to, if I come here, like even if there is no budget, like to continue like with the workshops I was doing like in cinematography.
Yeah.
Which in my opinion it went pretty good. Like
I think so too.
Yes,
it was
like
and it was really a good experience for me also to have you here to provide like a more like you say intermediate perspective on things. I'm not a camera guy, so I can like hold a workshop with like nerdy topics about codecs.
Yes,
but it opened up like a whole new target group.
Yes.
In the universities close by.
Exactly. I really enjoyed that we had, for example, like university students, first, second, third years, like most of them the film students as well.
Yeah,
which was really nice to have like this dynamic of people that they already know some things at least, and even if people that they didn't know so much, they were kind of dragged, like because because the way I did it, at least it was at the beginner level. But as soon as the people they were up to 11 and I saw that we were rolling, I was like, okay, we can now get into the nerdy stuff here. Like I can be like, okay, this is how we do it and this is why this is happening, etc. So even people that they were beginners, they were kind of capable of following as well.
Yeah,
but I guess this is kind of is gonna fluctuate according to the experience of people.
But I see also that the one of the like biggest surprises for me were that it was I thought maybe that like people who didn't get into media at high school and stuff would like to use this more, but it's mostly like media students who come here because they get the freedom. They get the freedom to create whatever they want. They don't have to follow the curriculum. They don't have to like do what the school tells them to do.
Yeah,
they can come here and try stuff out, and they seem to enjoy it.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I encourage people, even like from North University or from NTNU, like the film students, to come and use the equipment. Like it's a good thing for people to come and check things out for themselves.
Yeah.
Like because it's, again, for me, it's a shame when we have equipment that is just laying on the floor and then no one is using it. You know, it's better if people that are interested in to film, like to burn it. You know, like to work, to be here even every day, like to work on things. So yeah, and my take on ISAK, like the media department, is it start getting better and better. Like,
it's really big difference from when I started here in like the numbers. Like, talking like Trump is
it's really
is
great.
pumped. There are people here mostly every day now, and that was not the case in the start, but it's slowly like spreading around. And if I have had this opportunity when I was 18, I would have pounced on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now before we close, last question for the day. I would like to ask Oslo versus Trondheim.
Yeah.
Or versus maybe Bergen as well. It's in the picture. Or Drammen. If you were to start out like your career again or whatever, like if you can give like an advice to people starting out, which city would you choose in Norway?
Oslo. Yeah. You can probably make it in most cities, but then you would have to be really lucky, and you would probably need to work as something else as well. It's very few jobs here that's available to that you can make a living full time.
Yeah.
Like I would guess if you get into NRK or something like that, you could live in Trondheim and work. Or maybe if you start your own company, but then you would kind of need a little more experience than fresh out of school.
Yeah.
I don't really know much about Bergen. I've been there a couple of times doing jobs, but that's from Oslo.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I recommend you could always come back here with experience. But if you need lots of experience, Oslo has way more stuff happening. Yeah. It's going to be hard there as well, for sure. But I think it's more work there.
Yeah, I mean, there is. Like, I've been now for 1 month just to see what is happening, like in Oslo, and also to connect with people and compare here to Trondheim. Like, I had much more experience and much more things just rolling, projects, etc., in a period of 1 month in Oslo than 6 months in Trondheim, which I guess for me it's a really like self-explanatory what I'm doing. Now I'm moving like to Oslo like next month, and it actually helped me, like when you told me, okay, I think it's better you go to Oslo. Like I was like, okay, like it's good that someone like reassures my fears about the place here in Trondheim, that it's not a good idea to stay here as a youngster, as someone fresh out of the university. I guess it's a good idea to try like on your own and to see, but I can argue that I know now that it's a bad idea for anyone at the age of like 20 or like in these like early stages to try to do anything in Trondheim. Like, or not anything, maybe something it could come to your like towards you, but it's a good idea if nothing comes up not to push it too much, because from my experience I pushed too much, like, and there wasn't like any reaction, like there wasn't any, okay, something comes back. I mean, here that I got like to teach, but the thing is I don't want to teach.
Yeah.
Right. Like I want to be the one learning things from actual productions and not I guess teaching people like really technical stuff.
Yeah.
Like so at least from my perspective, like Oslo is a go-to. Like, and then I'm gonna learn also like how much you can extract out of Oslo. But for me, that's a good idea for people to start like in Oslo.
I think it also depends on your network.
Yeah, of course.
Because I guess that there are jobs here. There are people living from working in film, but maybe you grew up here.
Yes.
And then you know more people, and it's much easier then. But if you are like a blank sheet,
yes,
dropped in Trondheim, I think your chances are rough.
Yes, and hard. And also, in my experience, at least, most of my friends, they are unemployed, like at least at the upper north of Norway. And not of a lack of trying. For me, I tried like a lot, like a lot, like getting to know people here. And it was like a lot of like false hopes from a lot of the industry people here.
But that is true in Oslo as well.
Yeah, it is true as well in Oslo. But I guess it's not only false hopes that people are just getting things out of their head. It's also their hope that things will get better. But it's also a good thing to give a reality check to people starting out, to give their options, to be like, okay, if you stay here, it's not a lot, like just straight out of the box. But if you're like, we call it a dog, like if you're like this dog spirit, that I'm gonna do everything about it, and you want like to start your own production company and do whatever it takes, like to make with my movies here, like in Trondheim, like that could be a thing. I mean, Bente did it.
Yeah.
Like it's a crazy thing that, for example, Bente Mano, she can create films like in Trondheim, like, but it's not like a lot of people doing what Bente is doing.
No.
It's like Bente and Bente, you know, like, and then up north, like the people, like the documentary people. But that's that. It's just some crazy people who got to get like what they have in their head. So
everything can work.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes.
But it's but it can also not work.
Yes. Of course. Okay. Cool. Guess that's that.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, Magnus.
Thank you.
Had a lot of fun today, actually. So yes, guys, thank you so much for joining us today, and see you next time.